What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. And in today's video, we've got an exciting shoutcast from content creator and friend of mine, Mr. Tamagotchi himself. Hopefully I said that right. I'm pretty sure I did. Don't sue me if I didn't, though. I promise I tried my best. He's got an exciting shoutcast of this really strong Open Great League team in which he hit expert and beyond in this battle video here. And now you may be looking at this team, you're like, wonder what in the heck does he do against a Swampert lead? Well, glad you asked, because Shadow Charizard actually beats Swampert in the two-shield scenario. So that's how we deal with Swampert leads. So we're going to jump right into these battles and see how Mr. Tamagotchi hits expert with this team. Let's see. We get a Noctowl in the lead. This is actually something you got to stay in for because Trevenant does not want to see this. So we've got Registeel in the back as our strongest option, but I imagine this feels like one of those teams where it's just like, you know, you just run through things with Charizard and then let Trevenant and Registeel sort out the rest. So we're going to see what these two Blast Burns are going to do. You got to shield these up, man. I can't imagine they don't shield these Blast Burns. These I've got my Kaboom button on at the ready right now because something's going to land and it's going to one-shot. Anyway, so this is the first video of the week. Normally I do a video every day of the week. This particular week is a little bit special because I'm actually moving next weekend, or this weekend, I guess, since this would be the Monday video. So you'll be seeing some staggered releases from me over the course of this week. So I'll probably do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And Friday's video was recorded like 2 weeks ago, so it has my old layout. So forgive me when that comes out. But we've got a Chestnut that comes in here, and we're going for the Zap Cannon to try and get that debuff before the superpower lands. Doesn't get his shields and doesn't get a debuff. Doesn't going to get a shield because there's no shields left because Shadow Charizard took them all away. He said snatch them. Charizard's greedy. He's like, here, give me your shields. I'm going to take them away. They're mine now. Anyway, so we get to the Focus Blast. This should easily KO the Chestnut, but we're letting the... Oh, we're undercharging. Definitely not going to be able to get the farm down, unfortunately, but it made sense because you wanted to be able to get the move off against the Noctowl. Now we're in a tricky situation where Noctowl has some energy and could absolutely destroy the Trevenant. So we're getting the Charizard and get a still move. Is this Dragon Claw going to be enough to KO the Noctowl, however? That's just barely got to be enough, and you see a Surfetched in the back, and you've got a Trevenant. Shadow Ball will sort this out quite nicely. Good game. Got the button. Let's go. First battle, we're going to get a Kaboom in. Taking out that duck. And I think I fixed my transition issue. Thank you to everybody who pointed that out to me last week. I did forget to actually change something, so I was able to hopefully fix it. Let me know in the comments if I did fix it, because I'm pretty sure I changed the setting. So Dugong safe swaps in after Metacham. You know you have a really strong counter to Metacham in the Trevenant. Charizard doing really well also, so you can afford to throw this Blast Burn before the Dugong gets to a move, and then Registeel just farms this thing all the way down, and I don't care how much of a counter to Registeel Metacham is. A Registeel with a ton of energy, even with a attack debuff, it's still painful. Zap Cannon is still painful. So Registeel is going to launch off a Zap Cannon here, and that's going to do about 40% to this Metacham, and easily going to be able to get another Zap Cannon before the Metacham farms down. Registeel, once he got Zap Cannon, was just so disgustingly good. This thing is just... You put this thing in... Oh, we hard swap in, farms down the Charizard. The opponent says, nah, dude, I'm good. Oh, that was beautiful. All right, yeah. I mean, goodness. Mew in the lead in the next game. Very, very uncommon lead, but you can't really swap in Trevenant because of the Shadow Claw. Registeel could do well here, but you never know what moveset the Mew has, so you go for Flame Charge. That's interesting. Wonder what the opponent's second move is. We're going straight for the Blast Burn here, making sure the opponent, if they decide to call a bait, gets one shot, and they do! And the opponent, they don't have a switch clock. They don't know what to do here. Double comes in. You know what? These Dude, I love Shadow Charizard. I don't play Great League that much, but oh my goodness, I love Shadow Charizard. Tries to catch the Body Slam on the Registeel, but unfortunately the opponent decides to overfarm. Registeel easily going to be able to get to a Focus Blast here before they're going to be able to get to at least multiple paybacks. They need like at least two paybacks to take out a Registeel here. So Focus Blast is going to get the final shield off of the double, and I'm expecting the opponent going to go for the payback here. Mr. Tamagotchi probably doesn't need to shield this. He could probably come back with a Charizard, but he decides to shield the payback anyway. Going to take out this double. The opponent comes in with their own Registeel, and the energy gets used with a Focus Blast on the opponent's Registeel. Trevenant completely walls this as soon as the switch clock comes back up. I wonder if you just wait for it now. Yeah, very good call here. Not swapping out immediately, just waiting for the switch clock and then letting the opponent throw the energy. Now we come in with the Trevenant, or you just come in with the Charizard. We come in with the Charizard, dude, the farm that's going to be... Oh my goodness. I'm in like 5 different directions with my brain right now. There's so much happening here, but we've got a Zap Cannon that's absorbed by this Trevenant. The Charizard has energy. The Trevenant has energy. This Dubwool has no energy and is also about to be dug 6 feet into the ground by the energy on this team. They said, no, I'm done. All right, good game. Wow, that was well played. Good stuff. Jumping into the next game, we've got a Sableye on the lead. This is a pretty nasty lead for this team. I know that Sableye doesn't really appreciate taking charge moves from Charizard, but at the same time, Charizard's really glassy, and Sableye does have some attack weight to it, so these moves, even the Shadow Claws, are chunking. But the opponent goes for a catch on their Quagsire, and this may just be the thing that seals their fate. You can eat a Stone Edge here, no problem. Then you can farm up a ton of extra energy, go for a Seed Bomb to one-shot. The opponent chickened out, went for a Mud Bomb. You know shield this for sure. Mud Bomb gets absorbed. You go up to as much energy as possible. Throw the Seed Bomb. Opponent doesn't need to shield this because they're just a waste of a shield. And you easily get the Shadow Ball off against that. Nope, I'm going to go straight for it. You know what? I respect it. I think you could have... I maybe could have gotten to the Shadow Ball. I couldn't see the energy clearly there, but one Seed Bomb is going to get the Sableye pretty low. And then Charizard has like 500 Dragon Claws loaded and ready to go, so it can easily just launch these Dragon Claws, maybe shield once, and then the Sableye. Ooh, it was a CMP tie, so yeah, we got a. Oh my goodness, can't think. We got a shield, and then the opponent brings in a Registeel, and this Registeel does not have enough shields to shield 2 unbuffed or non-debuffed Blast Burns. I don't care what you say. This is easy money right here. This one-shots, and then some, I think. So, buy Registeel. Takes out the Registeel. We have a full Registeel in the back. Shadow Charizard is just putting on a show here. Next battle, we've got Yusei in the... rocking that Shadow Venusaur. Hardest RPS. You love to see this lead. You do so well here. Kanto Ninetales is the safe swap for Yusei, and unfortunately, we're doing all resisted damage here against Charizard. Now, Charizard, I think Yusei is just looking to try and get as much damage on this thing to get it away from the Venusaur as possible, but that's the thing. No one's expecting the fact that there's Trevenant and Registeel. You've got good matchups all over the board against this, against the Venusaur, so we're not really worried about it here. You know, I wouldn't say that... I don't think I would call Venusaur versus Registeel very good for Registeel, because you're still resisting, but also throwing nothing but resisted damage. But Trevenant against the G-Fisk here, now that's a good matchup. So we're resisting the Mud Shots. Rock Slide does only so much. Shadow Ball, no shielded. Opponent is putting all of their faith in their Shadow Venusaur, and we're going to see how that goes for Yusei. As the first shield gets drawn by the Trevenant, Trevenant's going to go for a Seed Bomb. After having landed the Shadow Ball, a Seed Bomb is definitely going to be enough. Gets a shield from this G-Fisk. Do we see the last shield come up from the Trevenant? Yes, we do. The Trevenant is going to go for the farm down, but the Venusaur comes in right away, going for that Shadow Ball, and the Shadow Ball is probably going to get shielded here, and then it's up to Registeel to clinch the rest of this game off. Registeel pops in, starts lock on, and we're going to see the opponent throw a charge move here. Looks like they're going to get probably Frenzy Plant. I don't think you need Sludge Bomb. I think is double resisted by poison. So Zap Cannon's going to, I mean, it's going to do some damage. It is Shadow Venusaur too, so there's that. But it doesn't quite do enough, and this is an awkward health range. The farm down is not, I mean, maybe. I think you could definitely farm this down. They have to get to another charge move, and I don't think they're going to get there before the lock-ons. Yeah, I guess Venusaur has less HP than I thought. But we go for the Focus Blast instead, making sure that the opponent can't throw a move. They catch, very nice catch by the opponent, but it doesn't matter because the lock-ons are going to take out the Venusaur, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Oh, I hit the transition, but this is the end of the first set where we hit Expert. So, very nicely done. Congratulations, but don't go anywhere yet, battlers. We've still got another set worth of battles for the Shadow Charizard to destroy some faces. Let's get into the next one. I'm not timing the transitions well. I tried so hard. But next battle against RPS, Rock, Paper, Slark, Social Media Manager, Yasu Sky running a Wigglytuff on the lead. This dude swaps centers. He swaps in an A9 and he just quits. That's it. We're done. Goodbye. Get your Charmers out of here. No thanks. Sandslash on the lead in the next game. This is a really awkward lead. Everything here has some really nasty matchups into this nine slash. That was almost what came out of my mouth. Alolan Sandslash can go straight Ice Punch into the Shadow Charizard and win multiple shields. I think it wins the 2 shields actually. And if it lands 1 Ice Punch, the matchup is pretty much over. Blast Burn is going to get the first shield, and I think you have to just go for shields here. Your Registeel can definitely put a hurting on this thing, but that's the thing is now you have to be able to load all the way up to that move. The opponent goes for a catch on their Azumarill. That is just... that's painful. But now what you have done is you've allowed this Registeel to come in and farm up the energy it needs. Now, if you can correctly get the Zap Cannon undercharged or charged just enough, you can lock on down the Azumarill and come out with a move against the Alolan Sandslash. That might be just what Mr. Tamagotchi needs, and he goes straight for the perfect undercharge, able to now lock on down this Azumarill. It's going to get to a move, but it doesn't really matter. Play Rough is going to do resisted damage and is going to leave this thing. It's still in drill run range, and I don't know if the Sandslash had a drill run, but it doesn't matter because now the opponent's got a Metacham, and now this is perfect because Trevenant can farm down this Metacham if it needs to. But we're going to hard swap in and CMP tie the Sandslash. What a perfectly executed swap there. No shield were necessary. The opponent knows that they don't need to shield. It's just a Dragon Claw, but Ice Punch will take out Charizard, but this now allows Trevenant to come in and get the farm down it needs, but right before it goes down, it's going to eat an Ice Punch. But is Registeel going to be able to handle this? Oh, eaten down by just a threat, and we quit. That's unfortunate. Very close, but yeah, the Alolan Sandslash is just, it's such a core breaker to this team, unfortunately. And speaking of not so great things, we see a Bastiodon in the lead in the next game, and they're staying in after we swap to the Trevenant. I don't know what's in the back. I imagine probably like a Metacham and a Victory Bell, because that's just normal in these days. So we'll see what the opponent decides if they're going to swap. They probably get the shield and then swap, knowing that they can easily win switch advantage here. The Meganium's going to come in, and we're going to see what Mr. Tamagotchi decides to do. I think he's going for the Shadow Ball here, hoping to get shields or do huge damage to the Meganium. You can just go straight Seed Bomb now, but actually, this isn't terrible because now you can go straight for a farm down, not fearing a single move off the Meganium. Charizard can land a Blast Burn potentially onto that Bastiodon, even though the double super effective Smackdowns do a ton of damage. Nope, not even going to risk it. Go straight into the Registeel, and we're going to see what the opponent's got in the back. They probably have another grass type, I would get, because that's just normal. Grass behind Bastiodon is normal, but the Bastiodon doesn't shield. There's a Toxicroak back there, and now there's a win condition for this Charizard. All we have to do is save the shields and hope that the opponent doesn't come out with 2 Sludge Bombs. They're going to have to shield everything here because one move is all it takes. And now they may not be able to get this farm down. We get to the Focus Blast. No, he goes down, just barely unable to get to it. But I think because of that attack debuff, you can easily live a Sludge Bomb here and the counters that follow. Can we get to a Blast Burn after baiting this Dragon Claw? The opponent has to shield this. I think their win condition here is no shielding this Dragon Claw, but they decide to let it go. Does one Dragon Claw KO this Toxicroak? Let's find out. Absolutely enough damage to take out the Toxicroak. Well played, very close, good game. Oh my goodness. We got a Frostlast lead in the next match. This is pretty neutral, but obviously either one Pokemon would one-shot the other with a charge move. The opponent's Frostlast gets to the Avalanche beforehand, and I think that you definitely bait in this situation, but the opponent is now at an HP range where they have to respect it. But Mr. Tamagotchi says, I'm not baiting, I'm going for the big move. Does it land? The Frostlast gets clapped, and in comes a Lantern, and immediately we see a swap into the Registeel to try and make sure that that Lantern doesn't eat our Charizard for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Registeel is going to eat this Thunderbolt, no problem, and the opponent is not swapping out until just now when they decide to catch the resisted move on their Venusaur. We're leaving Trevenant in the back. You can already see the writing on the wall, you Home Slice Henry fans out there. Trevenant just gets locked on to the Lantern. Charizard finishes off the Venusaur, and we're just chilling here, ladies and gentlemen. This is about as wrapped up as a game can be. No problem. Zap Cannon is going to hit this Venusaur. The opponent deciding to save their shields perhaps for the next game, or maybe tomorrow. I don't know what they're saving their shields for, but it certainly isn't going to be helping that Lantern in a moment when Trevenant swaps in to completely wall it in its moveset. And the opponent decides to finally spend a shield on a resisted Blast Burn instead of that Zap Cannon. So here comes the Trevenant, and the opponent just concedes, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Trevenant out here taking names. Now here's an Alola Ninetales in the lead. The opponent's running Powder Snow, which actually means this is a really terrible matchup for the Charizard. The opponent kind of core breaks this this team with the Trevenant being in back. Doesn't really appreciate this either. You have to bait. You know what? Every time I say it, he goes for the Blast Burn and somehow it lands. So I've got it. Nope, the opponent does shield that one. So we're just going to go for both guaranteed shields here, I would imagine. And the Trevenant perhaps is in back to sweep. The Weather Ball gets another shield. Mr. Tamagotchi goes straight for the Blast Burn here. We're not messing around. Does the opponent shield twice? Yes, they do. This Charizard is definitely going to go down. Looking for a last second Dragon Claw to do some chip damage, but ultimately doesn't matter. Weather Ball's taking out the Charizard, and Regiseal's going to come in. Venusaur in the back. Do we decide to swap out? No, we're staying in here, taking the resisted damage. Zap Cannon's going to probably go through. I'm expecting the Trevenant to swap out at some point, or swap in at some point here after the Zap Cannon to start getting some energy, because this is a dreadful, long, painful matchup otherwise. And, no. Attack drop, we're staying in. Definitely going for that Zap Cannon. Maybe we bank a Zap Cannon and swap out, perhaps? Maybe? Frenzy Plant, yep, there's the swap. Frenzy Plant goes through. Trevenant gets to just farm this all the way down. The energy that it's going to have left over is going to allow it to immediately dispose of the Ninetales. Sludge Bomb is hitting for neutral damage. The opponent is not going to get their farm down. We're going to let our little doggy on out of the room here. Seed Bomb is going to take out the Alola Ninetales.
Nova.
Hey, buddy. Sleepy boy, you got... Good old boy. Good old dog.
Come on.
Buddy, you gotta go outside. It's time to go, man.
Don't even have to worry about opening the gate because his ass...
Anyway,
yeah.
That's going to be the last battle, is the doggy's got to go outside. So good timing on there, buddy boy. There he goes. He's out of here. All right. Anyway, thank you so much to Mr. Tamagotchi for sending in these battles. These were in some insane Charizard battles. Thank you very much for the Shoutcast submission. And if you, my dear trainers, would like to send in some battles for Shoutcast submissions, I have a form that you can fill out, a Google form in the description and the pinned comment below. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.